Hello. Well, today I'm going to review the Godzilla DVD box set. As I promised, let's get started. First up, there's sort of the details on the box with the movies that were inside of it. Some info. Now time for the DVDs. First up, the double feature. Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, Godzilla and Mothra: The Battle for Earth. I'd actually prefer this one to this one. Despite the fact that Mothra's cool, I like King Ghidorah. And I skipped a lot of scenes with the people. And, well, they're pretty boring. And, oh, I felt really sorry for Godzilla's source being blasted up. This one was pretty cool. This one was like the first Godzilla movie I've seen. Well, Battle for Earth, that is. Time for the next one. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. One of my favorite Godzilla movies ever. Right there's Mechagodzilla, Rodan, and Godzilla being attacked by a bunch of planes, and there's lightning in the background full of explosions. And this little caption says, "The mother of all Godzilla adventures." Yeah, right. Heard that one before. Right there's a good shot of Rodan and Godzilla next to each other with a few pictures of Godzilla fighting Mechagodzilla 2. By the way, I rate this double fee. I rate the King Ghidorah movie on a scale of 10. I'd give it an 8. And Godzilla and Mothra: The Battle for Earth and 7. This one gets a 10 because of the great story, great special effects, and it introduces baby Godzilla. Next up is another double feature, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Destroya. This one, pretty boring, a little too much on the people. And Godzilla vs. Destroya, an epic conclusion to the Heisei series. Nice shot of Godzilla burning up, and there's Destroya in one of his forms. Nice shot of Space Godzilla fighting Godzilla and his son, even though that necessarily did not happen. And right there's Fairy Mothra right there. It's hard to see. And it looks almost identical to the Mothra on that other double feature. Well, I'd rate this movie... In fact, I'd rate both movies an 8. Wait, no. Godzilla vs. Destroya a 9.5. Next, whoops, wrong. I guess I better do this one. I hate it. I hate to do this, but I have the American DVD of the Zilla movie. And there we go again. It was reviewed by both the Angry Video Game Nerd and Nostalgia Critic. And a few other people reviewed this movie too. They're just not as known. Yeah, this picture of this eye could have been Godzilla's eye, but no, they decided not to. And there's the hideous creature on the back. The movie wasn't all that bad, except that, well, it has the title Godzilla, and it's sort of boring and a little too serious. Oh, and a lot of people keep saying that it's an insult that Matthew Broderick's in it, so just enough. And it was followed by Godzilla the Animated Series. And I have the Monster Wars trilogy only, though. There's Zilla Jr. more appropriately. Right there is the giant vampire bat. Right there's some weird sea monster thing on the back of the box. Zilla Jr. Or Gino, I forgot the name Gino. And I've had enough of this DVD. Well, Zilla fans probably like this show, but I just don't like it. Well, I haven't watched it yet. It looks kind of corny. Now, here's Godzilla 2000, also known as Godzilla Millennium from 1999. This is an awesome and epic picture of Godzilla right here. And there's Godzilla on the back of the box, using his signature atomic breath, and there's that weird UFO thing that released, or possibly became Orga. It's sort of unclear to me. Oh, and if you look at the front of the box, there's Orga's face hidden in the back, with a whole bunch of teeth, sort of foreshadowing that he will swallow Godzilla. So yeah, I rate that movie, a 10. Because it's a great action sequence. Then here's Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. Yeah, I saw this one. Maybe the last fight, at least. I only saw the last fight. That's because it was sort of boring. And there's the hideous Megaguirus. A nice, well, not a very nice shot of Godzilla. In fact, I thought it was a different suit until I saw the back right here. Can Godzilla defeat the evil Megaguirus? And, I rated a 5. Ouch! Yeah, ouch is right. Up next we have Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah. Giant monsters all out attack. Yeah, I know, a lot of Godzilla fans like this movie, but honestly, and now don't get mad at me when I say this, but I don't really like it as much. It was cool, nice special effects, great story, but I don't like the idea that Godzilla is possessed by spirits who died in the war. I honestly do not like that idea. I also don't like the idea that King Ghidorah is a good guy in this movie. Well, oh. And, again, like in Godzilla 2000 and Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, they completely disregard the Heisei series. They're completely rewritten, so they only regard the very first movie ever, which I have. I might get to that in a minute. So I rate this movie, 7. Next we have Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Revolve too much around the people. They spent too much time building up the story. And they call it the Battle of the Century. You don't even see much of Godzilla in this movie. He only appears in like 3 times in the movie. So, well, of course it is monster against machine. And of course here Mechagodzilla is the first Godzilla. The skeleton, at least. I'd rate that movie, well, for its great CGI, and in its sort of anime-like format. Seriously. Well, I'd rate it a 9. Godzilla Tokyo SOS. I'm not going to say any more on this. Except I'd rate it a 4. 4 because, well, they spent too much time revolving around the people. And I had to skip like a whole bunch of scenes just to watch Godzilla fight Mothra and Mechagodzilla, or Kiryu. And according to the movie, the battle just lasts forever. Not forever, just like from evening to night. So, on with the review. So, and I was lucky enough to get this for Christmas a few years ago, Godzilla Final Wars. But unfortunately, let me open this. Well, okay, the disc barely comes out, but another thing to note is that the disc cracked. I already reviewed this DVD. I rated it a 10. It's actually my favorite Godzilla movie. Well, there's basically nothing else to do right here, so I guess I'll review 3 other Godzilla movies right here. First up, King of the Monsters. Yeah. It's one, because it's a classic. Except that, well, I did see both original... I saw both the English dub and the original dub. And a lot of people didn't like the original dub. I mean, I'm sorry, a lot of people didn't like the English dub. I rated it a 10, even though it's a little too serious. But it's purposely serious, so it's not their fault. And right here's Godzilla vs. Megalon, showing them on the World Trade Center, something that never happens. And we hear this in the English trailer of Godzilla vs. Megalon over and over again. Giant against giant, the ultimate battle. And they made Godzilla's oddly enough breathe fire. He's an atomic monster, not a fire monster. Not going gigantic anymore. And I have the Japanese VHS copy of Godzilla 1985. But more respectively enough, The Return of Godzilla. I didn't see a whole lot of this movie actually. The opening was kind of scary because it just showed those sea lice. I'd rate this one. Well, I did see a bunch of other scenes on the internet, so I'd rate it a 6. Oh yeah, Godzilla vs. Megalon, I rate it a 4. So yeah, here's my Godzilla DVDs. Oh, except those two. They do not count. Oh yes, I was also planning to, well, review my Godzilla games. You already saw Godzilla Unleashed. Hold on a second. Just take a look. Okay. Now, I already have the 3 Godzilla games released in the US that are not the horrible NES shiz and all that. So, right here I have Godzilla Destroy Monsters Melee. Highly recommended from a friend, who I don't hang out with anymore. All those monsters. I don't understand why they call Mechagodzilla 2 Mechagodzilla. And they know that there's specifically a Mechagodzilla 3 up there. I don't get it. But the gameplay's kind of hard. Right here I got Godzilla Save the Earth. The best. This one is the best. Oh yeah, note that Rainbow Mothra's on the front. Or Mothra Leo. Yeah, it's a great game. So, alright, take another look at the box. You'll know it when you see it in stores, if they still have it, of course. Well, I reviewed every single Godzilla movie and game I have. I have like half of the entire series itself. Well, see you around.